Hey guys, Benny the Comicstorian here. Now I'm going to give you my non-spoiler and then my spoiler review for the Civil War movie. But before we can move into that, we made a t-shirt for Batman v Superman. Well, we also made one for Civil War. I'm going to put it on the screen right now because they haven't sent me a copy of it yet. But I did like the quality of the last shirt, so make sure you check out this one right now that is on the screen, guys. It's a Spider-Man themed ones, and I'll put the link to it down below. So if you want to support us and you want to get yourself a Spider-Man themed shirt, go check it out. But let's go ahead and move on to my spoiler-free review. Now, first up, overall, I liked the movie. I mean, that's pretty much what a spoiler-free review is going to be. It's me telling you I enjoyed the movie. I liked the way the story went. I don't feel like it was my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, but I don't feel like it was anywhere near the bottom. It was definitely up there in my top 3. So overall, fully enjoyed the movie, loved the introductions of all of the new characters. I felt like they all had a great introduction into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I loved the conflict between Iron Man and Captain America, and the overall plot, to wrap it up, it just was a nice little bow on it, and it was a great movie. So make sure you check it out. Now, if you don't want to have it spoiled for you, this is the moment in which you can go. And I'm going to give you about 10 seconds to leave, so I'm going to tell you about our t-shirt again, so make sure you go check out the Spider-Man t-shirt. And I also wanted to let you guys know that our Comicstorian channel has officially launched. So if you were interested in Attack on Titan, Tokyo Ghoul, and various other manga, then go check out Comicstorian. The link to that will be down below. But now that you're all still here and I've managed to put in some shameless plugging, let's go into my non-spoiler review. First up, let's start at the top. The Civil War plot in itself. Honestly, I felt the plot was a little weak. It was there, it made sense why the characters were fighting, but the reason for the Superhero Registration Act, or what they call the Accords in the movie, I felt was a little bit weak compared to what it was in the comic books. Now, in the comic books, what ended up happening was a bunch of kids decided to go out, start a problem, caused a mass destruction in a school, and the blame was put on Captain America and Iron Man because they they were the superheroes and they were what caused the kids to want to go do this kind of thing. In this movie, the whole idea was, okay, well, superheroes need to be in check because we need to check with the UN before we go do anything. But I felt that was a little weak because the biggest example they used was the event out of Age of Ultron, and if that was happening, I would like to think that the UN was going to send them in anyway, making the entire point null and void. Now, they did bring up a whole point before you guys go yell at me in the comments about the eventuality, where this is going to lead, the giant catastrophe. And I agree with that. I just felt like we could have hashed home a little bit more why it was important for the superheroes to be in check. That was my biggest complaint about the story. But overall, the story was amazing, and I loved the idea of a villain being behind the whole thing, and his reasoning was to get the superheroes to fight. Unlike the comic, where the comic was just, they disagreed, so they're gonna fight. The whole thing was orchestrated to make them fight. Loved that. I thought that was an amazing idea and a nice way to take the idea of the Civil War and put it into a movie that could be contained into 2.5 hours. Because if you read the Civil War, not only is it like a 9-issue arc, but it's also like 50 tie-ins. It's huge. Now let's move on to what everyone's gonna wanna know. My opinions on the amazing Spider-Man appearance. It was incredible. I loved the fact we didn't touch on his origin. I loved the fact we didn't even touch on the fact why Tony Stark knew who he was. We just had, Tony Stark knows a guy. Oh, he happens to be a kid who has webbing, and he's Spider-Man. He had all the quips, he had all the jokes, he was the youngest guy in the team, he obviously wanted to be on the team. It was awesome. I love this version of Spider-Man, and I cannot wait to see what they're gonna do with him. And then Black Panther. Black Panther was awesome. Then we got like a pseudo origin behind him. We know who he is, we know what he does, we know what his powers are, and that's all you needed. You just got to watch him run around being amazing. Spider-Man and Black Panther's introductions into this universe were perfect, and I loved it. I wish we had time for more superheroes, but in the end it had to be a small 6-on-6 fight. You probably couldn't afford more. On top of that, I loved Ant-Man, and I loved him going giant big, like huge. That was awesome. He enjoyed it. The superheroes got thrown around a little bit. It was really cool. Super enjoyed that. I loved all of the scenes with Captain America and Winter Soldiers. The scenes together, they made such good friends. You could see the friendship in them. You could see all of the decades that flowed through that. And then you could see the struggle of Iron Man wanting to help his friend, but at the same time, understanding where Captain America is. And the big conflict at the end. Oh, that was just amazing to watch them just beat on each other. Two best friends just going at it. I loved the movie. I really, really did. And the only problem I said is basically I felt like the overall reasoning behind the plot was a little bit weak because it wasn't fully explained and it could have been a much better reasoning behind it. But other than that, the only other complaint I have is that it ended like every other Marvel Cinematic Universe. We just went back to the status quo. Sure, we do have 2 Avengers teams now, I get that, but they left it on the note of Captain America being like, look, we fought, it happened, that's what's going to happen, but if you need me, call me. And we know he's gonna call him in Infinity War. So that's pretty much it. It's a great movie, definitely something you have to see. If you wanna know where I rank it, I still say Winter Soldier is my favorite, followed by Ant-Man. I'm gonna put this as number 3. I'm gonna say this is number 3 on my list of top Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. And that's it, guys. I told you what I thought, I told you what I enjoyed about it. Keep in mind, I'm not a professional reviewer. Don't forget to check out our t-shirt. Don't forget to go check out Comicstorian. We're launching it with Attack on Titan. Very soon there's gonna be more videos over there. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter if you wanna chat about this and tell me that I'm horribly wrong. If you want, have a nice discussion going in the comments. We'll make it civil. We'll discuss normal things like kitty cats and other movies. All right, guys. We'll see you next time right here.